Welcome and thank you for listening to this presentation on the Cecil Papers, a joint venture between ProQuest and the Gascoigne Cecil estate at Hatfield House. During this presentation, I will first introduce the content of this historical database, then I will give a live demonstration to show you the powerful search features and functionalities of the interface. The Cecil Papers contain 16th and 17th century manuscripts scanned in color, enhanced with added searchable bibliographic information. Researchers can now consult those primary sources without having to travel to Hatfield House in the UK to consult the original documents, or even go to the British Library in London or the Folger Library in Washington, DC to view old microfilm. The Cecil family is indeed a significant force in the British history. For example, William Cecil, Lord Burleigh's heir, Lord Salisbury, 3rd Marquess, was Prime Minister under Queen Victoria. Robert Cecil was Parliamentary Under Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs during the First World War, and most recently the 7th Marquess of Salisbury, current resident at Hatfield House, was a Member of Parliament in the early 1980s. He subsequently became a life peer in 1992. So, Lord Burleigh and his son, Robert Cecil, dominated the administration of government during the reign of Elizabeth I and the first year of her successor, James I. It is their archives which are contained in the Cecil Papers. This database gives you access to over 150,000 pages scanned in color. To help users retrieve specific documents, bibliographic information, also known as the Cecil calendars, have been added to the images. Remember, as we are looking at handwritten manuscript, the full text is not searchable. Therefore, the calendars are an essential part of this database. A calendar item contains the title, location, date, and various essential metadata. Many manuscripts have transcripts or summaries. Those came from 2 volumes of transcripts produced in the 18th century by Samuel Haynes and William Murden. They were rekeyed and added to this collection, making the full text of those particular documents searchable. In addition to the documents relating to the English domestic politics, you will also find items covering overseas occurrence and interactions with other powers. Those are reports of English ambassadors to the courts of Europe and the network of overseas agents. Amongst the major events in the English foreign policy addressed by these documents are the Tudors' reconquest of Ireland, the Anglo-Spanish War, the loss of Calais to the French, and the early settlements of America. Some examples of historic events that we also find in the Cecil paper are about, documents about Elizabeth I defending her honor in a letter to the Lord Protector. Indeed, while still a teenager, the Princess Elizabeth had to refute allegations of her involvement with Thomas Seymour. Seymour, the Lord High Admiral, was suspected of plotting to overthrow his brother, the Lord Protector to Elizabeth's half-brother, Edward VI. So her life really depending on clearing her name. Another example would be, François, Duke of Anjou, who was Elizabeth's last suitor. He was 22 years her junior, and she referred him affectionately as a frog, in reference to the shape of an earring he gifted her. Another example about Sir Walter Raleigh was also suspected of treason, etc.